Hi, this is Evan from Stock Music Musician, and I've got 5 great, affordable holiday stocking stuff for gifts for musicians that I'm going to recommend to you guys today. This can either be to stuff your own stocking or to stuff somebody else's stocking. Now, all of these are great for most types of instruments. I've done things before that focus more on guitar players or like home recording people, but I think that these gifts are going to be welcomed by anybody. So the first one is a pair of good earplugs. I recommend these Eargasm earplugs. I'm going to put links to all of these down at the bottom so you can get them. I've done a review of these previously, and they are probably the best all-around earplugs I've owned. They're very comfortable, they're portable, they sound really musical, and these are great because they're not only good when you're practicing if you're in a band, but they're also good for going to live shows because they still maintain a lot of fidelity, and musicians really need to protect their hearing. So that's why I would totally recommend these. The next thing I'm going to recommend is these cable stays. These are basically pieces of Velcro here, color-coded, that you can use to wrap around your cables. If you're a musician, basically, you have nothing but cables. It's just a mess, a rat's nest of cables, if you've ever seen a musician's gig bag, unless you're a drummer, in which case you don't need those. But not only do musicians have many cables that they need to keep together so that they don't go all over the place, they also have different types of cables. And that's why I think the color-coded Velcro works way better, because you can at a glance know what type of cable you're picking up instead of having to fumble around and see it. So those have made my life way easier, and they're fun to have in the stock, and you can also use them for other things besides musical cables, obviously. The third thing I'm going to recommend is basically some new consumables. If it's a guitar player, you know, something like new guitar strings. I'll put the ones that I recommend down below, but everybody's got their own personal preference, so just maybe snoop around and see what they like. If you know the person you care for is a drummer, maybe new drumsticks or new drum heads. If it's a piano player, you know, maybe get a somebody to come and tune it up for them. These sorts of things are kind of like the equivalent of socks. You always need them and want them, but you never buy them for yourself, so they make great stocking stuffers. Guitar picks as well. That you never seem to have enough, but you know, you always want them. The next thing I'm going to recommend is a portable recorder. Something like this from Tascam is way better than just a standard phone because it can handle much louder sounds. The problem with your phone is if you're like recording a live band, it just goes basically because the microphone gets overwhelmed, and so you lose a lot of the detail. Whereas a recorder like this is designed for much louder sounds. So if the musician you're interested in buying a gift for plays in a band, this makes it much easier for them to record their practices and sort of get things going. And the final thing I'm going to recommend is some percussion. You know, tambourine, some shakers, maybe some claves. These sorts of fun percussion instruments that not only can people use when recording, but if somebody comes over that's not really talented musically, they can still jam with you if you've got a tambourine or some shakers or some clave, and this makes it more fun and participatory. So I hope you've enjoyed these recommendations. Like I said, I put links down below if you are interested in buying them through the channel. It is at no cost to you. Most of these are through Amazon. I get a portion of the sales, but these are generally things that I think are fun and enjoyable for musicians. I've played for like 20 years, and these are things that I like. They're all really useful. So I hope you like this, and I hope the musician in your life enjoys these gifts as well. Thanks.